Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Saturday. Thank you so much for joining us for the live edition of This Week in Geek. Bless you, sir.
Thank you.
Or
Oh
if
my
you're
God.
listening to us, or if you're listening to us on Spotify, if you're catching us on your commute, on your gym, on your jog, thank you so much for giving us a listen. Make sure to rate us as well because it really helps the show. And of course, my name is Rand Geekness, and as always, I'm joined by my beautiful co-host, Zach Pope. How are you doing today, Zach?
I don't feel that beautiful, man. I just sneezed my guts
You
out.
are.
But
You
well,
are
thank you.
beautiful.
But yeah, no, man. I'm excited. We got She-Hulk that came out, and then
Yes, we
there's
do.
rumors that there's a Thor trailer coming Monday. So lots of
Yes,
stuff.
there is. Lots of stuff, lots of MCU stuff, and of course, the She Hulk trailer, the pros, the cons. That's going to be our main topic. So make sure you guys start to chime in the live chat, talk amongst each other, call us out if you make any mistakes, and obviously, big shout out to channel members MSP, Film Bruna, Nate Ankenbauer. There's a link in the description if you want to shout out, if you want to support the channel like these three beautiful people do. And you guys are also beautiful, whether you support the channel or not. Just you being here, just participating in the live chat, that's supporting the channel. But of course, before we go into our topics, ladies and gentlemen, because there's a ton to talk about, before we go into your live questions, which you can leave them on the community post in either of our community tabs on our channels, mine or Zach's, we must do weekly rankings. I had a busy week that literally my movie watching for the week started last Sunday, Zach, when I watched in preparation for the new one. I rewatched the original Top Gun.
Nice.
That does not come in last place. I'm just saying that's when I watched it. All right. Coming in last place comes a movie that dropped on Disney Plus yesterday, and I received a screener for it also yesterday. It's very
I
weird.
thought you were gonna tell me Chippendale, and I was about to fucking get a flight to the
No, I watched
UK
that
and
last
beat your
week.
ass.
I
Yeah,
watched that
I know. But
on
when you
Saturday,
said
yeah.
that like Disney Plus yesterday, I was about to fucking go to your place. I was about to fly to the UK, beat your ass, and come back. But probably I'd lose because Brennan's like, he's like 6'8", so.
But also you are coming here. You have plans to come here later on the
That's
year.
my goal for
That's
goal.
your goal.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
So we'll see if it all works out.
Maybe Zach Pope and I will finally meet this year, ladies and gentlemen. So consider supporting him on Patreon.
Next year for sure. If not next year for sure.
I mean, maybe. So, okay, full disclosure. Let's not get into too many details, but I was planning on going to TIFF this year.
Yeah.
I am not going this year. I'm not even going to apply because it coincides with something else. It's not even a sure thing that that's something else as of this moment. But in case that something else happens, I can't afford to go to TIFF. So hopefully you can come to London. You know you have a place to stay. You know you won't need to pay for a hotel. And should you apply, Zach, I can 99.9% guarantee you'll be accepted. But all right.
And I personally, I would rather go to that festival than TIFF because it seems a little bit more organized. And
it is.
The other thing that I've kind of noticed about it is it's like afterwards. So it's like, well, that too, but it's afterwards. And it's like everyone, you kind of get every film, that's at all the festivals. So that's what I really like about, because what is it? It's LFI or
LFS.
is it how?
BFI, okay. The British Film Institute.
BFI is that, okay. But that's what I like about that festival. Because every year that the thing comes out, I'm like, damn, Ren, I'm jealous.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's like the last big festival, you always get like 2-3 movies that are missing that don't really come out until like AFI, but like the bulk of movies that everyone wants to see, to talk Oscars and all that.
Yeah.
All of them come out on the BFI. So anyway, yesterday I got a screener after I realized, this random movie I never heard of is on Disney Plus, and that's The Valet, starring Eugenio Derbez, who was the music teacher in Coda, and Samara Weaving. Basically,
what the fuck?
Basically, it's one of those twin movies, Zach. Do you remember the twin movies such as White House Down and Olympus Has Fallen? This is the twin movie of Marry Me. The basic premise of a celebrity begins this pretend relationship with a blue-collar guy. And that's essentially it. All the details then are different. They don't actually get married on stage. She, instead of being a singer, is an actress and all that. He is an immigrant with this big Mexican family and all that. Enjoyable. I prefer this to Married.
I've never heard this. I've never.
Me neither. Like I saw it on Disney Plus and I was like, Samara.
Oh, see, for us it's on Hulu, so that might be why I haven't heard of
it. That's why. Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty forgettable.
The trivia on IMDb is literally the second movie to come out in 2022 where an average guy falls for a movie star.
Well, he doesn't fall for
not
her.
Like a famous person.
Yeah.
Someone needs to correct this IMDb.
But yeah, that comes in last place. Over that, I randomly had the curiosity to watch this documentary, and you guys know I'm not big on documentaries, but I had this major curiosity to check out this documentary everyone was talking about on Netflix called Our Father. And immediately I was caught off guard because it's a documentary, but it's produced by Blumhouse. So I don't want to get too much lost in details. I don't want to reveal too much. The basic premise, and you would think this is like the bulk of the story, but this basic premise is this girl makes a woman, really. She does one of those Ancestry.com DNA tests and realizes she has like a half dozen half siblings, which is a strange number. And so then it all connects back to the fertility doctor that took care of her parents. That's all I'm going to say. Very interesting, very disturbing events. Again, it's very disturbing. It's one of those that I want a narrative movie made out of this. My review on Letterboxd, as I put it, was just let David Fincher do the narrative adaptation of this. Let him go nuts. No pun intended. And so it's a solid watch. But again, being a documentary, it has kind of a ceiling for me, as far as I'm concerned, at least. Over that, I'm going to have the original Top Gun. Pure 80s bliss, the sweaty montages, the sun-drenched cinematography, pure raw adrenaline, music from it's fantastic. We miss you, Tony Scott. We love you. We wish you were still here with us. Over that, guys, if you still haven't seen it, it's on Disney Plus since yesterday. Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. This film is hilarious. It's incredibly smart. It's funny. It's sharp with its humor. Think Lonely Island as you know and love them, but now they have this giant toy box to play with. A lot of toys, you expect them to have there, but then there are other toys that you have no idea how they got them, and it's fascinating to watch. I was just talking about this as I was on the queue for another movie that we'll be talking about in a second, and we were talking about like not necessarily best movies, but the best times I've had sitting down and watching a movie this year are Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and The Lost City. That trio of movies gave me a blast.
Comfort films.
Comfort films. Just super joyous, hilarious from top to bottom. Just make sure you watch this film because it's smart and it's going to be one of those that you remember as one of the all-time great hybrid live action and animation movies. On top of that, in second place, you're going to be shocked that this only comes in second place, but I'll explain in a bit. And if you've seen the latest video I uploaded, you'll realize why this is only in second. Regarding new movies, this is the best one. Top Gun Maverick. Holy shit. The enthusiasm, the excitement, the hype paid off. And I'll say, and then some. It is better than I ever expected because it has all the qualities I wanted it to have. It has all the qualities that it sold me on, but then it's actually a very profound human story about someone living with their own personal failures, despite being like the greatest of all time. But then the film takes time to examine Pete Mitchell, Maverick, and all the mistakes he has done, not only in the first movie, throughout the years since that first movie. It is sensational. I have my tickets booked for Wednesday the 25th. Cannot wait to go watch it again. And I'll for sure go at it again on Friday after Wednesday. And at my number one, why is Top Gun only at number two, Ren? Because I watched Jurassic Park this week. In preparation for the Minion, I started my series of reviews. Jurassic Park review is now up on the channel. I've seen the comments. I haven't had time to respond yet, but I've seen the comments, particularly a very kind comment from Eric Thorpe Review. Shout out to you, my friend. Really kind words. I really appreciate it. And yes, I will absolutely respond to you guys, each and every one, personally. Just haven't had time yet. Wanted to prepare the show and all that. But Jurassic Park, of course it's better than Top Gun Maverick. There aren't many things that are better than Jurassic Park. So that's no shade on Top Gun Maverick. If I had not seen Jurassic Park, which is a bona fide 5 out of 5, 10 out of, however you wanted to call it, Top Gun Maverick would very much be my number one. So that's my weekly ranking. Zach, what do you got?
All right. Coming down at the bottom, The Lost World Jurassic Park. Started my marathon, and I don't like this movie. As a kid, I used to enjoy this, but this one's just, it's pretty messy. Like, I genuinely forgot how messy this film is. It's been probably 15, 20 years.
I must have missed, you're talking about the second one, right?
The second one, yeah. The Lost World. Yeah, so The Lost World Jurassic Park. It's fun. It's whatever. I like that Goldblum's the main character in this one. Forgot Vince Vaughn and Julianne Moore were in this, but it's fun. But that's really it. Like, it goes on a little bit too long for the concept. Then it kind of diverges into something else that it seems like Jurassic World Dominion is going to pretty much make its main concept of it. So, enjoyable. But I'm I was going to watch Jurassic Park 3 yesterday, but I'm just like, I can't. I already know I hate that I'm going to watch it. Like, I don't know. It's tough. I haven't watched Jurassic Park 3 since I was like 8, and I didn't even like it when I was 8 years old. So I can't imagine that I'm going to like it even more.
I think Fallen Kingdom is the worst movie, but Jurassic Park 3 is just so boring. Because, like, I think on a structural level, on a narrative level, you look at Fallen Kingdom, that's by far the worst movie, but at least you remember stuff about it. There's at least one moment, the Brachiosaurus. Like, that's fucking sad, man. But Jurassic Park 3 is just monumentally boring. And a movie about dinosaurs coming to life, people lost in a park running from them, should never be boring. That movie has no right to be boring.
Very true. That is true. So that comes in my last place. Up next, Top Gun. First one. It's enjoyable. It's an 80s joyride. Danger Zone, all that stuff. Tom Cruise, Goose, and whatever you want to put it. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed this movie for what it is, but I don't think it's the greatest film of all time. Which, let me tell you, the people on my Maverick screening, which we'll talk about in just a second, I didn't know there was this many dads who were fans of it screaming. People were clapping, man. I don't know how your screen was
crazy.
Yeah.
Like, sorry to interrupt. Like, we've had like a ton of MCU movies, particularly recently, where there were moments worthy of applause. Every time people applauded in those moments, I was like, yeah, this makes sense, and I applauded with them. There were moments in here that are like, okay, not now, people, calm the fuck down.
Yeah, dude, like little really moments. Weird. I was like, holy fuck. Like, there's one character that comes back that might be a surprise for some people, might not be a surprise for others, but
don't say who it is. Don't say who it is.
I won't.
I know there are a lot of people who don't know. I knew.
See, like, okay, so it's public knowledge if you
went
want
under
to know, but
radar.
Like I mentioned it in my review, but it was man. It's so good. It's so good. Oh. It's so good. It's arguably one of the most important scenes in the entire film because of what it does for the character. It was so
and how it ends.
Written.
The line.
Oh,
I'm going to remember that line forever.
Yeah. So let me get the Top Gun Maverick. Gun Maverick.
Yes,
so
please.
Up next, I have, and let me tell you right now, here and up, I fucking loved everything I watched this week. The rest of it. Which up next is Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, one of my favorite films of this year. I absolutely adored this film. I have watched it 3 times. I've watched it 3 times already. I fucking love this movie with all my heart. I need more. I used to love the Rescue Rangers as a kid, so this really meant a lot to me watching it, and I love films where they mix CGI and live action and all that stuff where it's done right, like Roger Rabbit. And this was everything. The cameos were there, but they added to the world that they lived in because it made sense. It was a part of the world, and the gags for all of them worked. There are stuff in here that like Ren was missing. Yeah, 10 minutes in, I lost it. I lost it. If you have not watched this film yet, beware of the chat, beware of Twitter, Go
Please.
watch it if you do not know even if you know the cameo, definitely still watch it because I couldn't believe they got that. Then there's like 5 other cameos that I was still shocked that they got. I was absolutely baffled that they were able to get, but they all work for the gags they are doing.
Did you catch? Okay, I'm not going to say where. I'm not going to say where on air in case I'm spoiling anyone. Did you? Because I know you love it, but did you catch the Kingdom Hearts?
Oh yeah, it's actually in one of the trailers. It's actually in one of the trailers. So I've known about that one for a while. Must be in the
second one because I don't remember seeing it.
In that same scene, you actually see his hair too, other than the Keyblade.
Yes, there's
a lot in that scene. Yeah. There's a ton in that scene.
There's a ton.
So, but yeah, I love this movie. Please go watch it. Please make it the biggest Disney Plus live action original film yet.
Please.
Like this deserves. And honestly, I understand why this was not put in theaters. I really do. But God, I wish it was. And this actually gives me hope for future Disney Plus original films, such as Peter Pan and Wendy, the one that David Lowery is directing right now.
And Pinocchio.
I am actually more and Pinocchio. I am more excited for those than I ever was because they were just going to Disney Plus, and a lot of Disney Plus original movies have been ass. Honestly, almost every single one. I don't really have hope for Enchanted, and I really do not have hope for Hocus Pocus 2, but I hope I'm wrong. But seriously enough, this is the best one yet. And it's absolutely my favorite Disney live action remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it. It's my favorite one yet. This was so clever, so funny. I had a blast. So moving into my second favorite movie of the week. Now, let me say this, same as Ren. When I say this, doesn't mean I didn't love it, but I watched another film this week that is a classic of all time, maybe the same one as Ren. So obviously,
maybe.
Stuff. But these are pretty close. And at my number 2, it is Top Gun Maverick. Probably one of the best theater experiences I've ever had since Endgame. Honestly, since Endgame. Cinematically, and even taking out my audience, if we're just looking at like cinematic experiences, Mission Impossible Fallout. The last 30 minutes, I was gripping my seat. I was cheering. I was emotional. I fucking cried like the last 20 minutes. Like, I don't even know why. Like, I just had tears coming out my eyes as I'm watching these jets like fly around.
The penultimate scene, there's a line from one character. I can't say the line without spoiling any details. It was the penultimate scene before it fades to black, and then there's a new scene. A character says a line. I'm like, what the fuck? Why am I reacting like that? What the hell?
Same. This is where I go say Joseph Kosinski, I think, has finally established himself to the mainstream that he is an amazing director. And I'm saying this right now. Movie. If John Krasinski does not direct Fantastic Four, I want Kosinski to do it. There's 2 scenes in here in particular.
He has the camaraderie down. He has the interpersonal dynamics.
Do you know what scene also sold me? It's very early on it's the first flight that Tom Cruise does. That scene, like really all I thought of, and no spoilers, Quantum Realm. I literally thought you could do the Quantum Realm, like if they're doing that or however they do it.
I would argue that scene, but more importantly, like the small, intimate human moments. Yep. But the scene where this is not a spoiler, where the trainees all meet up at the bar early on, and Miles Teller plays the piano and all that. That scene was all their banter. I'm like, perfect. He's still not my first choice, but if he gets the gig, that's
and I'm more excited for that Spiderhead film now on Netflix. I hope that's good. I really hope that's
good. But I will say I did not like the trailer.
I didn't like the trailer
after Top Gun, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. But seriously enough, this is better than the original in almost every single way. Yes. Like flat out.
I will say in every way.
Like the action set pieces, the way the planes, the jets, the way they got all that flying. I have no idea how the fuck you did that. I know a lot of it was real. I need a behind-the-scenes documentary on how they made this, which I would not be shocked if it goes on Paramount Plus. I would not be surprised if they had a behind-the-scenes.
Put it on the Blu-ray. What the fuck?
Yeah, and I would argue as well, this is one of Tom Cruise's best films ever. One of his best performances. 100%. I would argue there is a chance, depending on how well Paramount markets this, that it gets nominated for Best Picture. Seriously, it's that good.
I wouldn't argue it, because right now it's my favorite movie of the year.
Oh, it's my... I think I have it at my number 2 or 3. but fuck, it might be my favorite too. I don't know. I still love the Batman.
It might be a three-way tie because I'm like the Northman, the Batman, and now this. They're like,
but let me. You know what I've noticed, and I told the rep this. I said, the films that are great this year are fucking great. Yeah. The films that sucked this year are fucking garbage. And this is one of those movies that I am so happy I got to see in theaters. Like I know a lot of us say you need to see this movie in theaters. You need to see this is a movie that I do not think the experience will be as good at home. Not just because of audience, but because of the cinematic scope that they made on this film. I came 100%. Home and told my family because I'm going to Star Wars Celebration next week, but I come back like the day before Memorial Day, which is like our Monday, and everyone has it off. I told my whole family I would pay for all of us to go. I'd pay for all of us to go see it in IMAX. My family typically doesn't like going to the movies all too much. They like waiting till home. I said no. This is a movie that you want to see in theaters. Like hands down, it's fucking incredible. And Miles Teller, amazing in this. Tom Cruise, amazing. Glenn Powell's about to be a huge superstar. I'm telling you right now, he will be locked up to a Marvel film, DC movie, fast as fuck. I think he would be,
as long as it's not Nova, because he's a great fit for Nova. But he can't be Nova. Okay?
I was about to tell you, dude. I'm sorry. I think they found their Nova, but it should be you. It should be you.
Shut up.
The other one I thought was Booster Gold, flat out Booster Gold. He is the epitome of what that character is. So I love this movie, man. I couldn't express it enough. It's perfect, and it's better than the original in every single way. Seriously, amazing. Up next, at my number one, Jurassic Park. Ren kind of said everything there is about this. It is one of the most iconic classic movies of all time. I love this film. It is scary. It still holds up. This was actually the first movie I saw back when the pandemic reopened. Theaters didn't have anything new to put in, so they actually put in a bunch of old movies.
Theater. I'm so jealous.
And I wanted to do Raiders of the Lost Ark so bad, but my girlfriend, she still has not seen them.
I've seen that one in theaters.
Yeah, you have. I have not, man. I want to see that one so bad in theaters.
70mm print with all the grain on. So good.
That's so good. But my girlfriend picked Jurassic Park. I was like, pick between these three, and she picked Jurassic Park. No, not at all. Really. I wanted, but she's never seen Raiders, so that was. But again, I think I would rather watch that at home with her. To where if she does love it, then it's like, okay, when it does go in theaters, we can go. And I would hate if she's sitting there I fucking hate it. Because I know, not every movie's for everyone, but Jurassic Park is incredible. The first one, at least. If you don't like the first one, I just don't know what it is.
And the other two. Let's not talk about the fourth one, which I don't hate, but the trilogy.
A lot of people hate Temple of Doom, dude. My entire office hates that.
I don't get it.
I'm like, I don't get it. I feel like it's because they watched it super young and then never rewatched it again. Yeah. And it's that's what's in their head. Is something that their parents told them.
The multiverse of madness of Indiana Jones movies.
Oh, very much true. But yeah, I love the Jurassic Park. Also, I also forgot, every time I rewatch this, I forget how fucking brutal it is with the T-Rex when it grabs the guy out of the bathroom and eats him. I'm like,
Gennaro. Yeah.
Damn.
And also the Dilophosaurus catching Nedry, spitting all the it's not oil, but the paint in his face. Just love Jurassic Park, man.
Yep,
great picks as well. All right, let's go into your weekly rankings now, guys. And of course, in the live chat, we can't guarantee that we'll get to everything, but if you want to support the channel through a super chat or tip link, there's a link in the description, and we'll guarantee that your question is answered. And we'll start with Eric Thorpe reviews. My weekly ranking: number 1, Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Number 2, The Avengers. Should be flipped around. Just saying. Number 3, Ed Wood. Number 4, Equilibrium. And number 5, Face Off. Dude, you only watched great stuff this week. Ed Wood is perhaps my favorite Tim Burton movie. It's either that or Big Fish, depending on the day you ask me. Equilibrium is so underrated. Face Off is a 90s classic. What else can I say? I don't know if I'd put Face Off over Equilibrium or Eric has, but dude, this was a great week. If that's all you watched, you only watched the bangers. So good on you, my friend. That's a great list. Zach, have you seen all of these?
I have not seen Equilibrium, but I have seen everything else.
It comes across as a somewhat Matrix ripoff.
Who's in it?
But
Who's
in
that one? That one.
Christian Bale, Ty Diggs.
Oh yeah, I never seen
Angus McFadden, who played Brutus in Braveheart. It's got a good cast. Sean Bean is there, and you can guess what happens to him because it's Sean Bean. So yeah, it's a really good movie. I really, really like that movie. I believe, isn't it James McTeague who went on to direct V for Vendetta?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, really, really good. No, it's not. It's Kurt Wimmer who went on to direct Ultraviolet. And Ultraviolet is utter shit. He also directed The Children of the Corn from 2020. I didn't know there was a Children of the Corn in 2020, but yeah.
There's a reason you don't know that there was a Children.
Yeah, exactly. And he's directing something called Solara, but he also wrote the Total Recall remake, the Point Break remake, Salt, Law Abiding Citizen. He wrote some good stuff and some not so good stuff. But yeah, watch Equilibrium. That's the point. All right. Jico EP, number 9, Sky High. Number 8, Alias, episodes 1 through 3, the Jennifer Garner show, I'm assuming. Number 7, Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers. Number 6, Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, one of the greatest animated series ever. I'm so glad you watched that, Jico EP. Let me know if it was the first time, because I need to go back and rewatch that, because it's been a while. Number 5, Barry, episode 3. Number 4, The Evil Dead. Number 3, Ex Machina. Number 2, Annihilation. And number 1, Evil Dead 2. I liked all of them. That's a good list. I haven't seen the Evil Dead one. I'm not caught up on Barry. I've never seen Alias. Like, I've caught random episodes, but I never followed the show. Other than that, great list, my brother. Great list. Are you caught up on Barry, Zach? Are you still loving it?
Oh, the new season? Yeah. No, you're still behind, right?
I'm still behind, so yes, don't spoil anything.
I will say this. I was really into, I love the season, but it was one of those seasons where I'm like, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna feel with what they're going. It's dark. Okay. It's a fucking dark season. The last episode that just happened solidified this is probably gonna be the best season yet. Ooh, so now I kind of get what they're doing, and I'm like, okay, this is great. This is fucking great.
So. All right. Dominic Scott, my weekly ranking: number 1, Jurassic Park; number 2, The Lost World; number 3, Jurassic Park 3; number 4, Deadpool 1 and 2. All right. I'm surprised to see that one underneath under Jurassic Park 3. Number 5, Supergirl 1984. Number 6, The Final 2010. I'm not familiar with that one. Other than that, I've seen them all. Apart from Jurassic Park 3 and Supergirl, I love all those movies. Well, I really like The Lost World, Jurassic Park, but that's a review for next week. Tony Movie Chappie, weekly ranking: number 4, Love, Death, and Robots Season 3. 3, The Incredible Hulk, the most underrated MCU movie. Correct. Number 2, The Watch. I'm still shocked how this wasn't a success at the box office. I would argue because it wasn't very good. Well, it's not too bad. It's middle of the road for me. Number 1, American Honey. Zach, have you ever seen American Honey?
It's one of those movies that I actually own. I've just never watched. I want to.
Yeah. I remember watching it because everyone was talking about it, and I didn't get the hype. It's perfectly solid, but it doesn't justify its runtime, personally, for me, obviously. And yeah, I didn't care too much for it. So yeah. Anything else that we got? We do. Hot Takes for Nerds shows his weekly ranking. Chandler here in the chat. Thank you for being here, Chandler. And before I read it out, let me just check if there's any others after that. And no. And this will be the last weekly ranking. All right. Hot Takes for Nerds. Number 8, Rush Hour 3. Number 7, Cobra. Number 6, Revenge of the Sith. Number 5, Rush Hour. Number 4, Rush Hour 2. Number 3, Adventures in Babysitting. Never seen this one. Number 2, The Suicide Squad. Number 1, The Batman. That's what I've watched so far. Hope you two have a good day. You too, Chandler. Thank you for being here, brother. That's a good list. I will say this. Rush Hour 3 is one of the funniest scenes in any movie ever when they're at the dojo. And have you ever seen Rush Hour 3, Zach?
Yeah.
And he's asking for the master's name. What's your name? You. Not me, you. Yes, I am you. Then he asks the other,
So
me?
stupid.
Yes, you. I am me.
Funny,
it's so dumb, but it's so Chris Tucker just completely steals the show on that. All right, everyone. Before we go to your live questions, and again, make sure to type them out in the community tabs on our channels, let's go to our main topic, because at least to my surprise, I don't know if it was a surprise to anyone else, but we got our first official trailer for She-Hulk this past week. We got our first look at kind of the vibe of the show. We got our first look at how She-Hulk will look on screen. So let's discuss our feelings on the trailer, our thoughts, the pros and cons. Does this get us more excited for the show? Because that's the job of a trailer. No matter where our excitement was before, after this trailer, if it went up, it was a good trailer. If it went down, if it went out or stayed in the same place, it was a bad trailer. So full cards on the table. You guys know I love the MCU. You know the MCU is my life. That's the kind of movie I love. I always look forward to these movies. I love this universe. My favorite franchise of all time. This wasn't a good trailer. I didn't care for this trailer too much. I have been a person that has been not doubtful of She-Hulk, because in Feige we trust. You guys know what I say about that. But it's just a character that I've never been too interested in. I've always found her to be a derivative character. And being that the Hulk is my favorite comic book character, Marvel Comics comic book character of all time, I just want a Hulk story. And I'm glad to see him in here. But this, to me, wasn't a good trailer. I think Tatiana Maslany is an incredible actress. I think she's a perfect fit for this. I think her lines are perfectly fine. She delivers them very well. I'm very anxious to see her scenes and moments with Hulk, with Mark Ruffalo. But that also shouldn't be the show. The show shouldn't be about that. That's something that is happening there. But to me, the biggest problem was that there wasn't a distinct identity. What is this show going for? Because for the bulk of it, we're shown training montages, we're shown random action sequences, but the setup is there. They've always sold this show. The concept of it is Ally McBeal, but in the MCU, breaking the fourth wall. And the glimpses that we get of that, with a very sex-positive show. She's going on this dating life with these guys on Tinder. Obviously, it's not Tinder. It's a random made-up app because they don't have the rights for Tinder. But that's fun. I want to see that. And I wanted more of that. But again, I don't think that will be the show. So even though we have these intriguing pieces there, none of them sell me on what is the show. What is the story that it is going to tell? And it's a first teaser. There's an argument to be made that, hey, this is just the first teaser. You don't need to get a lot of the story. It's a fair argument. But to me, whenever we got a first teaser for Falcon and Winter Soldier, for Hawkeye, for Loki, for Moon Knight, for WandaVision, those shows with all their faults, big or small.
Even Miss Marvel, man.
Even Miss Marvel.
I was not excited for that at all.
The first time we saw any trailers for any of those, this is the tone, this is the story, this is what the series is talking about. And I didn't get that with She-Hulk. So it's not a completely abysmal trailer. And I'm sure we'll talk about the CGI, Zach. Like, a ton of people are flipping out about the CGI and then comparing it to finished movies and shows that we've seen. And they are years old, where the show hasn't even come out yet. This is not the final product. But again, we'll get to that in a bit. To me, it is not a show that took away my hype, which, to be fair, it was already on a pretty low place. It's just a trailer that left me in the exact same place.
Yeah.
I'll be there day one because I love the MCU. I love superheroes. But in regards to this one show, I didn't watch this trailer and go, oh, now I'm really excited for it. I watched this trailer and I was like, okay, all right. I'm a little confused about what you're going for, but cool. And the CGI is distractingly bad. So that does take away a little bit. Zach, your general thoughts on the trailer? And I'm just noticing now you have a Schmodown shirt.
Thanks. I have watched this fucking trailer, and don't ask me why. I've watched it like 9 times, and
because you want to like it. You want to be in love with it.
I think it's part of that. I think it's part of that, but I think I go, did I really watch that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I think it's because I'm really obsessed with looking at the CGI, because it's this uncanny valley thing where it's like, she is the Hulk, but she looks human. You know, plus she's very attractive. So, you know,
but that's She-Hulk. I will say, let me add to what you're saying real quick. The model itself looks real good. Yeah. I like the model itself.
I do want to say this.
Blended nicely.
I wish they went practical. With this. I think this is a character you could have done practical. Whether it would have been more expensive or not, I somewhat feel like it probably would have been cheaper to do. I mean, maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe you can fill me in on a little bit more on that.
It would probably be cheaper, but I don't think you would sell you correctly on She-Hulk, because I don't think Tatiana Maslany can get that big, because she has to grow a little bit from a human form. And
visual effects wise, you can do that, but the green is the part that I'm mostly looking at. But again, because here's the thing. However this show comes out with visual effects, whether it's the worst thing that Marvel has ever done, or they correct it and it looks pretty good. You know, not great, but good. Let's remember, when she shows up in a movie, it's going to look fucking stunning. Because, at least I would hope so. Because I had issues with some of Doctor Strange's visual effects.
How dare you?
And Shang-Chi. But, like, you know, look at Thanos, man. Thanos looks fucking real. Thanos, you know, like. So here's my thing with the trailer: taking out the CGI element and all that stuff. I have not been that excited. I haven't been that excited for this show. There are reasons that I am excited for it that I do not want to get into, because spoilers. There's some certain things that if you really want to know, you can go look for yourself. And if they come out true, cool. That excites me. The thing with this trailer, though, and the thing that hasn't hyped me since they announced it is, well, the thing that has interested me is they said this was a 30-minute, every episode's going to be around 30 minutes, and it's a comedy. It's very different for the MCU. MCU's not been like that. So that's the first thing. Going and watching this trailer, absolutely see that. I see the 30-minute stuff. I see the comedy element to it, and I like that element a lot. I like the fact that this is going to be what happens when now you are the fucking Hulk. You are a version of the Hulk. I think that's interesting. The element that didn't grab me, and I want to love this, is the stuff that ties into the MCU. Obviously, you need Hulk in there. I'm just not a fan of Professor Hulk whatsoever. And seeing that his arm's not fucked up makes me think that this is probably taking place during the blip. So I'm actually curious to see how that goes. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's before the blip. But no. It has to be during the blip, actually, because he was Professor Hulk during the blip. So, yeah. So he has to be. Yeah, he has to be Professor. This show has to take place during the blip, unless we're just retconning what we saw at the end of Shang-Chi and retconning the end of Endgame, and now he's just fucking healed already. I hope they don't do that. I really don't. But I am very excited to see that element in there. But at the same time, I miss my badass Hulk. I continue to miss that.
You're telling me. You're telling me you miss the badass Hulk.
But Abomination, very excited to see. What's the guy? Tim Roth, right? It's Tim Roth, right? Very excited to see Tim Roth.
Before you move on, I want to bring up something that makes how She-Hulk looks even more distracting, and that is that it's only like a 1 second shot, sure, and he barely moves, but Abomination looks good in the trailer. Yeah. The Hulk looks great in the trailer. And I'm sure it helps that they already have the pre-established models from the previous movies and whatnot. But still, the fact that those two, that characters within the trailer look great, but then our lead looks so wonky. And again, I fully trust and believe that come the show itself, I'm not judging the show itself like a lot of Twitter is doing. Come the show itself, it's going to look fantastic. I just thought it was distractingly bad in this because oh, these two look good. Why doesn't she look good? So I just wanted to add that. Continue.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, and that's my thing. I think this is like a 9 to 10 episode series. So I'm excited to see what they do with 30 minutes. But
what do you mean we're getting more than 6 episodes? Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, it was originally announced to 12, but I heard they brought it back to 10 or 9.
But it's just nice that we're getting more than 6 finally since last
January. Very much so. But again, these are only like 20 to 30 minutes episodes. So, you know, in the end of the day, it's still going to be around the same fucking runtime as like Moon Knight. Oh, well, no, it'll be a little bit longer. But I'm more excited. You know what I'm excited to see? I'm excited to see who might show up in this. Because court cases, man. Who's she going to be defending? We saw It was Frogman, right, in the trailer. Which that's fucking cool. I saw. I don't know if you saw the theory that people were like, "Oh, that's Charlie Cox." I'm like,
no.
What? No,
he's not in the trailer.
No,
he might be in the show.
Like, yeah, I mean, he's a lawyer too. But you know what I mean? I was like, what do you mean? That's like some of these theories people have, which I know you as like a diehard comic book fan. I'm sure you get frustrated with seeing like TikTokers talk about Secret Wars, especially lately.
I do, but thankfully my algorithm doesn't bring it to my attention. It's only when you, and I'm not saying don't send it to me. There's a kind of masochistic part of me that wants to be annoyed. So when I see that shit, particularly I see it on Twitter because the algorithm on Twitter also sucks. But on TikTok, my TikTok is cute puppies and cute animals in general and not safe for work stuff. So let's not get into that here. And meme shit. But
I know meme shit.
I come across that stuff on Twitter. I'm like, you fucking idiots. Read Jonathan Hickman's Avengers run, which leads to Secret Wars, by the way, in case you're curious.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, I didn't hate this trailer. I've kind of come around on it more than my first initial like watch of it. But I'm also not like blown away by it. I will say I do think Marvel maybe, and COVID is still, you know, delaying certain things in this. So I do want to say this is like, I'll give them like 4 more years, you know, like to really like kind of like get out of what they're in. But I wonder if they are stretching themselves a little bit with doing 3 to 4 movies a year and then 4 shows a year. Because I think the last bit, the best visual effects we've gotten from an MCU film in the last, since they came back, was Eternals, hands down. 100%. That was the only one that I think the worst thing was the Deviant, like the last Deviant. But that was it.
Crow.
Everything else I thought was stunning. Shang-Chi had some messy CGI here and there. Black Widow, that scene with Yelena, I just remember that was like, okay. But then I went back in. So I hope it just seems like they're stretching themselves a little bit when it comes down to the CGI. Comparatively, when you go back and look at like fucking the first Iron Man still looks really good. So
most of it still looks fantastic. And I think like the movies right now, they're still gonna look fantastic. Like even the Elena scene, which I agree with, it's that scene.
It's that one scene.
It's that one scene, and everything in general looks great. Like if 15% of the CGI in a movie looks shit, I can perfectly live with that, and it doesn't take away from the experience.
Yeah,
and I don't say that about the MCU specific, just in general, any movie.
Yeah, but that's different for everyone too, because some people might like
obviously,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah, so I don't know. I liked this trailer. The more and more I kind of watched it, I don't love it. It doesn't excite me more. It doesn't get me more mad that I'm not going to watch it, but I'm intrigued.
Oh, yeah. I'm not mad at it. I mean, it'd be pretty pathetic to be mad at a trailer for She-Hulk, I think.
Did you see the install? I want to ask you this, because I will tell you this. Almost every person I did talk to, whether they were fans of the MCU that aren't in our space, or just people who have kind of been a little bit down on it, especially my friends, they're not watching this show. My friend who's a diehard MCU fan, all he watches MCU, he said that was a terrible trailer. I'm not watching that. That sucks. I mean,
wait until the second trailer comes out, and if it's good,
maybe. I will be honest.
But that's my thing. This is a first impression for a show, and they made a bad first impression.
Yeah.
Like overall, like true. Not saying that it doesn't have qualities within it, But in general, this is a bad first impression for a new hero that obviously you and I know, people who read the comics, people who are minimally into the comics have at least heard of her, but this is a brand new character, and this is the first impression. It's not good. Let's face it.
It's not. And I'm excited, you know? I want to see Tatiana Maslany kick ass. Because it was rumored to be Alison Brie originally. Like, they were looking for someone like her. At one point,
it was Alison Brie. They were looking for an Alison Brie type, and everyone was like, okay, cast Alison Brie.
Yeah, which Alison Brie would have been great, but Tatiana, when she was announced, I'm like, perfect. She should have been nominated for Stronger.
I wasn't even rooting for Alison Brie. I was rooting for Betty Gilpin, who played
Betty Gilpin would
Liberty Bell in Glow. But then when they announced Tatiana, like, if you've seen Orphan Black, you know she brings it to the table.
I haven't seen Orphan Black, but anything she does after Stronger, I'm all in.
She was really good in Stronger too. She was really good in Stronger. But yeah, watch Orphan Black if you haven't. Like, she has the it factor. So yeah. So in general, I want to be excited for this show. I'm going to be there day one. The CGI is distracting, but to me it was mostly, okay, what is the story here?
I want to ask you this.
Yes.
If the first 3 episodes don't impress you, are you going to stop reviewing it, or will you continue to review it?
Good question.
Because I'm a little bit worried with this and Ms. Marvel for reviewing coverage, because I'm worried that these are going to be vastly different than previous Marvel shows, to the point where I don't know if it's going to be worth reviewing fully. Like, maybe the first 2 episodes for sure get the kind of the vibe, but after that, like, is it only worth it if there's something big that happens? You know,
Ms. Marvel is one that, at the moment, as of right now, as we sit here on Saturday, the 21st of May, 2022, I'm fully confident I'm going to really enjoy it. I'm going to have fun. Maybe
I think it's going to be the biggest surprise.
It's not going to be fucking incredible, but like you said, if the only
CGI, that last trailer, CGI looks really good for that.
If the biggest takeaway from the show from each episode is that random character A, B, or C comes in and there's a reference here or there, then it's not a very good show to begin with.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man No Way Home, if coming out of that film, the only thing we were talking about was Toby and Andrew were there, it was fantastic. What happens in the rest of the movie? Oh, I don't remember. It wouldn't have been a very good movie. And Spider-Man No Way Home was fantastic, as far as I'm concerned. For me to stop reviewing, answering your question, for me to stop reviewing a show that
you stopped reviewing Boba Fett for a bit.
That's the thing. But Boba Fett was insanely disappointing, and it was extremely frustrating. Literally, for 2 episodes, nothing happened. I mean, for 4 episodes, nothing happened.
Real fast.
Episodes 5 and 6 were incredible, but nothing happened with Boba Fett. So they were great. I hope that's not the case with Ms. Marvel or with She-Hulk. But it really has to let me down. It really has to frustrate me for me to stop watching. Like it happened with The Bad Batch. The Bad Batch was, how long was it? 16, something like that.
It was
a lot of episodes where literally nothing happened. To the point where when something finally happened, it was still so disappointing and underwhelming, I still didn't want to talk about it.
And I stuck through that show. I won't be reviewing season 2.
I won't
be reviewing season 2. I'll be watching it, but I will not review it.
Oh, I'll watch it, at least the first episode.
So my dad watched Boba Fett for the first time, like the last few days. He's been binging it. Dude, he fucking loved it.
Oh, wow, really?
But he loved it because he loves old school Westerns, and he felt like this was an old school Western. So, like, I mean, again, no hype, never saw a trailer.
So he's got to love The Mandalorian too, right?
Oh, he loves Mandalorian. He loves Mandalorian. Okay. He likes Mandalorian more. But you know what he told me? So, like, spoilers if you haven't watched Boba Fett yet.
Me too. I also like Mandalorian more.
He goes, who's this blue alien with the cowboy hat? So you know how much I love Cad Bane. I'm like, oh, Dad, like, blah, blah, he's such a cool character. And he goes, yeah, I just finished the show. I'm like, oh, yeah, like, I can't believe they killed him. And he goes, wait, they killed him? He didn't watch the last episode yet. He totally forgot. So I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. So he goes and, like, watches it, and he goes, why'd they kill him off? That was the coolest character ever. I'm like, oh, you should watch, like, he hates animated stuff. I'm like, just watch, like, this, and this episode in Clone Wars. Like, just so you can get a little bit more of him. So, But yeah,
and has
it was
watched?
pretty cool. No, he probably won't. He probably won't. He probably won't. I doubt it. But yeah, no, he liked Cad Bane, so that made me happy. So
final thoughts. I didn't like the She-Hulk trailer. It's not a horrible trailer. Again, it didn't take my enthusiasm down. It just left it in the same place. So ultimately, the verdict has to be this is not a good trailer. However, in Feige we trust. I love the MCU. I'm going to be there day one. Hell, I'm going to ask for screeners, and hopefully I'll get them. So I'm going to be there before day one. And I hope I love this show, man. I hope it's one of my favorites because the MCU has not had a fully outright bad series yet, as far as I'm concerned.
Depending on who you talk to.
Depending on who, that's why I said as far as I'm concerned. Falcon and Winter Soldier and Hawkeye are very close to being bad, but they're not bad.
Well, apparently people think Eternals is... I still can't believe Eternals is the first rotten movie.
Eternals, like atop Jico EP, Eric Thorpe, Diminishing Scott, I think. A lot of people ask us, do you think over time Eternals will be more appreciated? And it's already starting to get more appreciated. Mm-hmm. Eternals is fucking phenomenal. Every time I think about it, I look back. I haven't watched it in a while, but every time I look back on Eternals, I'm like, damn, that movie was good. So yeah. All right, everyone, let's go into your live question. There's a lot. I have 28 questions as of right now. So let's go. Zach, the first question is for you from Master Gaming. Would you like an MCU/Disney Plus series about Shamrock? The episodes will be directed by Daniel Stamm, and Ben Jacoby would be the showrunner. I have no idea what any of these means, so Zach, take it away.
I have no idea what the fuck that means either.
All right, moving on then. I'm sorry, Master.
All right. Sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about, man. I have no idea. Lady Aaron asks, and I'm only doing this because we need to settle this down. And then, Zach, I saw that you joined the League of Cinephiles for the Season 3 competition. That makes me so happy to see this. How does it feel to be the League of Cinephiles, and will we possibly see a match between you and Ren? You will never see a match between me and Ren because I'm not doing singles. We're doing teams.
You know why we're doing teams, Zach? You know why we're doing teams? Because I'm already the champ, baby. I am the champion of singles division. That's my beautiful champion. That's Goldie right here. She's mine. She's here. And now Zach and I, we're going for the team championships, which basically are also represented by this title right here. So only I can keep it. I apologize, Zach. But yes, you are my partner. We're going to come. It's fucking amazing, dude. Alex went to link to create. This is a proper championship belt like wrestling. And as a wrestling,
and shout out to Alex, man. He is very nice, and like what he's been developing has been great. So, but yeah, great question. No, I'm excited to do it. They asked me like 2 seasons ago, but I just, as long as they work with my schedule, I was like, yeah, sure. But I don't feel confident doing solo. But having a partner, especially Ren, I feel like I'll do a little bit better. Just because Ren's way better at trivia than I am, but
you and I have a lot of similar strengths, but you also have strengths that I don't have, and vice versa. Like for horror and Pixar, because like I know Pixar, my Pixar, I know my Pixar, but like let's say round 3, 5 pointers and such, there are questions there I probably won't get that you definitely will.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like when I play movie trivia Schmodown, there's some things that they ask that I've never seen before, but because I like that genre, I know what the answer is. So that's where I think it's going to be fun to do. So yeah, thank you for the question.
All right, Master Gaming. Ren, would you be excited if Liam Neeson joined the MCU? Absolutely. I love Liam Neeson, and it would take him away from shitty action movies that are all the same. I am going to watch Memory tomorrow.
Why?
I finally have access.
Why?
Because
why the fuck are you? Why?
Because
do you hate yourself? Do you hate yourself?
No. It is called Morbid Curiosity, and I'm aiming to watch as many movies as possible, real movies, as many movies as possible this year. Zach, I'm at 71 movies right now, 71 movies. So yeah, yes, I'd be very excited if he joined the MCU. I love Liam Neeson, no matter how many shitty movies he does. What about you, Zach?
I don't care. I really just want him to do like dramas again. Like Silence was incredible. Like please do things like that. I'm so tired of this shit, man.
All right, what's next?
G. Colby asks, what are your thoughts on the new Daredevil series coming to Disney Plus? I've seen people concerned about this based on the writers and overall qualities of the shows and tone of the MCU as a whole. Can I start with this one real fast? Because I know you got some thoughts with the writers. So let me just talk about the tone. I have no issue with what they're going to do with tone. This is vastly different than this is going to be a soft reboot from what we've seen before. They'll probably keep some elements. They'll probably get rid of some elements. That'll be cool. I wouldn't be shocked if they bring back almost the entire cast as well, like Foggy, Karen. Really hope we get Bullseye back because the way that last season ended, I feel like that'd be cool to kind of bring. I think the guy's is the actor's name Dexter. Or is that just the character's name?
No, that's the character's name, Point Dexter.
So, and I actually hope they bring that back. I think that would be a great way to bring us back while also continuing Daredevil in the MCU. No issues with tone. It's not going to be as dark. You can still make it dark. I mean, that's the thing. Those Daredevil shows were almost R, but you could still do PG-13. You can do the same thing here. Did we not just watch Moon Knight? Moon Knight was pretty fucking dark. Same thing with Doctor Strange. You can get away with a lot. I think people need to remember that. So I have no issue with that. My only worry about this show is the 6-episode bullshit. I do not want a 6-episode bullshit Daredevil show. I don't want it. That has been my biggest issue with almost every single MCU show. By the time it ends, there's been Moon Knight. I like the finale. Could have been better if they had 2 more episodes to flesh out a little bit more. That's just the honest truth. Loki is the only show that I honestly think you get rid of that 3rd episode, you make it shorter. That's a perfect fucking show right there. I had no issues with Loki, but everything else, Hawkeye, Falcon, WandaVision, I even think you needed at least 1 more episode. But seriously enough, they have had an issue with length. They need more episodes. And Daredevil is a series that it always ran maybe 1 or 2 episodes too long, but 10 episodes was that perfect amount. And also, the episodes were an hour long. So those are my worries. I personally didn't want another show. I wanted a fucking movie. And I think Charlie Cox deserved it as Daredevil. And people might be like, oh, well, I don't know if Daredevil, if it is an MCU film and you sell it on an MCU film, it will make money. It'll make money. I don't care what you say. It will make money. Guardians of the Galaxy made money. And that was a big shock. Eternals made some good money in the pandemic. If that film came out in normal day, $700 million. Easily. Yeah. Like it's like I saw people saying Eternals and Shang-Chi failed in most of all. They were in a pandemic. They did pretty fucking good. Shang-Chi defeated all odds. Eternals defeated a lot more odds. So, for me, I've been a little bit pissed about that. Now, the writers wise, everything Ren's about to tell you, yep, that's how I feel. But in Feige we trust. Let them do what it is. I just find it funny that Echo has the writers from Daredevil writing that show, but you couldn't get them back to write this show. Yeah, it just makes no sense to me.
It's not. It's because it's 2 different issues. It's not that you didn't get the writers of Daredevil back for this, especially given that you have them on Echo. It's that you got the writers that you did. The writers of Covered Affairs. Granted, the show I've never seen, but it doesn't look that good. It got canceled after 1 season, so it must have been for a reason. And of Deck the Halls. And you probably think to yourself, well, Ren, that was a long time ago. Yes, it was, but they haven't written anything since. At all, good or bad. There must be a reason for that as well. So I'm incredibly baffled, to say the least. That being said, I love the MCU shows, no matter what the tone they're going for. I think it's awesome. Don't expect the Netflix Daredevil. This isn't going to be that. This shouldn't be that. It's got to fit into the MCU. And the MCU has been reigning supreme for 14 years. I know Twitter likes to complain a lot that the MCU sucks, but I'm sorry, that's just not true. Because it's reigning so supreme, it has become cool to hate on it. Like it has become cool to hate on Avatar, or it has become cool to hate on things that are good and that people like. So people must get attention for shitting on it. I have full trust in Kevin Feige. Prove me wrong. The Russos, when they came in for Winter Soldier, were also like, the guys from You, Me, and Dupree are going to direct the Captain America political thriller with the Winter Soldier. And look how well that turned out. And then look at Civil War. Look at Infinity War. Look at Endgame. Like, you want to go dark? Look at Multiverse of Madness, like Zach. Look at Moon Knight. Moon Knight is dark as shit. It's psychologically deep and complex. So I don't know if these are the writers to do that with Daredevil, but in Feige we trust. So
exactly. So I just tone's not an issue for me. It's just length, and I.
But again, look. Speaking of Russo brothers and all that, they weren't the writers or anything. But for argument's sake, maybe the tone of Covered Affairs and of Deck the Halls was just the wrong thing for these writers, and the thing that they excel at is dark, gritty, street level superheroics and vigilante stories. Maybe that's their specialty, and they were just never given a reason to do that. And now they are. And Kevin Feige saw something in him, in them. So yeah.
Yep. No, I agree, man. I agree.
All right, my turn. Master of Gaming. What's your favorite MCU Disney Plus show so far? WandaVision is my favorite. Look, Loki and Moon Knight are neck and neck, but right now I'm gonna say Moon Knight. But those two shows do something really impeccable, really special. WandaVision is a close third, but for me it's between Moon Knight and Loki, and right now I'm gonna go Moon Knight. Zach, what about you?
Can you repeat it one more time? I was reading.
No. Yes. What's your favorite MCU Disney Plus show?
Moon Knight. Now, there's a little bit of a biasness in there. I think Loki's better made overall, but I fucking love Moon Knight. I loved Moon Knight.
Loki has the better finale for sure, and I will argue, does it have the best premiere? I need to rewatch Loki, man. It's been a while. I love that show so much. Your turn.
All righty then. Okay. You and me are about to argue on this. What are your What are your thoughts on the lengths of the upcoming Stranger Things episodes for all of season 4? Do you think they are too long, too short, or just the right amount? I feel like a couple of season 4 episodes being like movie length is a little much, in my opinion. This is from Lady Aaron. I'm not bothered by it. That's it. I'm not bothered by this at all. The more the merrier, as long as the show warrants it. I won't know if they're too long until I actually watch it. I mean that's my biggest thing. So I can't give an opinion. I do agree with what Ren tweeted out yesterday though about them splitting the season and only having that. At this point in time, and I'm being serious, this show should have been week to week. They should have just made it week to week, because by the time June 1st,
which is what they're trying to simulate with this. They
are, but let me tell you, if you did an hour 15, hour 30 episode starting Friday next week and continuing every Friday until July, well, yeah, I think it would go till July 1st. Am I wrong? Because 1, 2, 3, 4,
I think so.
6. It literally would be July 1st almost. Like it would be right there. Like, so like for me, yeah, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7. It would end on July 9th. So you just have the finale 1 week later. Yeah. For me, makes no fucking sense.
That's what they're counting on, that you only watch 1 episode per week.
But see, that's dumb. And that's dumb. They should have done it week to week. I've been saying Netflix needs to try it. They did with Arcane. Arcane was a success. Yes, will people be pissed about Stranger Things? Sure. But remember what happened with The Boys? Boys did it with season 2, and it was fantastic. Did it suck that we had to wait? Well, I didn't have to wait week to week, but did it suck for everyone else to wait week to week? Absolutely, yes, it did. But I like the week to week model more. And I mean, honestly,
let me say this, Zach, and it's gonna suck for whoever has to wait week to week again this year. I'm not one of those people, just saying, but it's gonna suck very much because the show is very good.
How did you get?
We'll talk more off screen. We'll talk more off air.
Okay, sweet.
I'm gonna add to what you just said. I think the split itself is dumb. Again, it's questionable. I'm not frustrated. I have more worries in life than to be frustrated about the length of a show I don't really care that much for. But it is questionable. Like, if you're making these almost movie-length episodes, why not do the week-to-week episode drop? Why are you doing so much and then splitting it up in just 2 episodes? Oh, but the next 2 episodes are like bigger than Avengers Endgame and Infinity War. I don't care. It's still 2 episodes. It's still 2 stories, period. So I think it's dumb. I think it's very dumb. So yeah. Lady Aaron. Rance, I know you and I are both massive Pokemon fans. Who is your favorite Pokemon champion of all time, and who's your least favorite Pokemon champion of all time, and why? I don't care for. I don't remember the Pokemon champions. I don't have a least favorite because they're all kind of the same. They're an obstacle for me to beat in the story. I guess favorite, probably Steven from the 3rd gen, because the 3rd gen is my favorite, and he wears a suit and he looks great in the suit. So yeah. What about you, Zach? Do you have a favorite, a least favorite?
I don't know. I don't know their names.
All right. What's next then?
G. Colby asks, when you read the comics, whether Marvel or DC, do you sometimes picture in your head the actors in the movie saying what's on the page?
Huh. I don't think I have. I don't think I've done that ever.
No, it's just because they look different.
Yeah, it's because they look different. And they're different stories.
Now, if I'm reading a book that doesn't have pictures, then yeah. Like if I see Obi-Wan Kenobi in a book, I'm going to hear either Al Guinness or Ewan McGregor's voice in my head.
And I will say this, I love dialogue in comics. Well, obviously depends on the writer and illustrator and all that. There's dialogue in comic books. There is awesome in comics, but if you'd put it in a movie, maybe not so good. So yeah. Hang on, my water just toppled over. Next, Lady Aaron, what in your opinion is the ultimate summer song, and what are some of your favorite summer songs ever? I don't know. I don't associate music with seasons off the top of my head, really. I don't know. What about you, Zach?
The ABC song. It's pretty good. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Pretty good summer song, you know?
Ooh. Actually, I still stand by my answer of what I just said. Like, I don't imagine the actors in it, etc. But there is one exception, and that is Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. Actually, I have done that. Not like I'm going to imagine. Right? It was not a decision. It was just I was reading a Deadpool comic, and I just imagined, and I just instinctively imagine Ryan Reynolds. So that's a good shout. You go be like, in general, 99.9% of the time, I still stand by what I just said, but Deadpool is the exception for sure. Zach, what's next?
All right. Let's see. I want to get some other people. Sorry. A lot of them are G, Colby, and Lady. I'll get back to them in a second.
How dare you guys ask so many questions? We love it. Please continue to ask.
I don't know this, so maybe you will. Nathan Holton's asking, do you think Eros will be in Thor Love and Thunder? Who's Eros? A-R-O-S.
A-R-O-S. Eros, Marvel Comics.
Oh, he means Star Fox.
Oh, Eros. E-R-O-S. In Thor Love and Thunder?
Nah. Maybe end credit scene, but no.
I don't think so. Would I say it's a 0% possibility? No. But I wouldn't be willing to bet that he does. I would be willing to bet that he doesn't. But I wouldn't say 0.
Do you think he's actually in the movie or an end credit scene? Like, because I think he would only show up in an end credit scene.
It depends on what they go next. But if he shows up, it would be to die by the hands of God, the God Butcher, and I don't think he's going to show up to die, even though I wouldn't mind if that happens. So if he does, sure, the probability is higher in a post-credit scene. Good question. I had never considered like Eros showing up in Thor: Love and Thunder until just now. So good question, Nathan. All right. This is a good one. Lady Aaron, what is your favorite battle, or some of your favorite battles, in the Dragon Ball anime? You're going to get all the cliched ones. Goku versus Frieza, Gohan versus Cell, Goku versus baby Kid Buu. Not baby Buu, Kid Buu. Super Saiyan 4 Goku versus babies, Goku versus Omega Shenron, and obviously the Tournament of Power in Dragon Ball Super with Goku Ultra Instinct Unleashed versus versus Jiren. If you want to go to the movies, the Gohan versus Bojack movie is fabulous. The original Broly movie is sensational. There's a great fight between Goku and Slug. So many great fights, man. So many great fights. I love Vegeta versus Cell second form. So many. Zach, what else you got?
He took a lot of mine, man. And now I haven't seen Dragon Ball Super, like a lot of it, so I can't talk about the ones in there. But one of the most recent one, Goku versus Broly, like from the movie.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Super Broly, yeah.
I really like that. But Kid Buu has always been one of my favorite ones. He's one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z characters. So
yeah. And also shout out to Bardock versus the Frieza fleet in the story of Bardock, which is a great Dragon Ball movie. Good question.
You like the Cooler stuff? I don't think we've ever talked about
I love Cooler.
Okay.
I don't love the second Cooler movie, the Meta Cooler, where he's in Namek. I love the first Cooler movie when he comes to Earth. That's a great
first one's great. I don't think I've ever seen the second one.
It's so bland. I don't know. Because Cooler is like trapped in this. I don't even know how to describe it anymore. But yeah. What's next, Zach?
All right. Next up, we have. I know neither of us watched this, so I'm just gonna get this one out of the way. Andrew, I'm gonna do two real fast. Andrew Self asked, "What are your thoughts on Umbrella Academy season 3 trailer?" I did not watch it. Did you?
I watched it. I like it. Just judging off the trailer. Yeah. Just judging from the trailer, it looks like it'll be the least interesting season. But that's all I gathered from it.
Okay.
All right. Next, if you guys were to make your own movie, what kind of movie would it be? What would it be about? And who would you want to star in that movie and why? No stars attached, but you guys know what I'm going to say. If I were to make a movie, if there's one movie I could make, and that would be it for the rest of my life, it's the live-action Treasure Planet. That's it. No indie movie for me. I want that blockbuster life. I want that remake. I want that Disney money.
If I could make a movie, honestly, Spider-Man. I'd love to do the next Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. That would probably be the one that I would want to do. Also, Ren, right after we get off this, remind me to tell you something. Okay. Just it is Spider-Man related. So, but I found out something this week and I forgot to tell you. So,
curiouser and curiouser. All right, what's next?
All right. G. Colby asks, aside from Fantastic Four, what film do you want to see Joseph Kosinski direct in the MCU?
In the MCU, he'd do a great Nova movie. I mean, I know, Ren, you only talk about Nova all the fucking time.
But
he'd make a great Nova movie. I think he'd make a great Thor movie. Mm-hmm. He'd make a good Iron Man movie.
You know what else he would do? He would do a really good Captain Marvel movie, too.
Yep. He would. Captain Marvel movie.
Fuck, why didn't they have him direct the first one, man? Jesus Christ.
Maybe he'll come in for the third one, and it'll be one of those trilogies.
I have a feeling Nia DaCosta is gonna fucking kill it, though. I love her as a director.
I fully trust her. I fully trust her. Candyman was very well directed. Very shittily written, but very well directed.
Candyman was excellent. Like, that direction. I love that film because of the direction. Like that, like I loved that movie because of the direction. The writing, yeah, I can get that too. Your turn. Unless you have more. Unless you have no.
Yeah, I have a ton more. But I think I just asked what movie would you direct and why.
No, that was mine.
Just
a Fantastic Four one. Yeah, the Fantastic Four.
Lady Aaron, even though it's May and it might be too early for this, what is your current favorite movie of 2022 and your least favorite? So I'm going to have, come the end of June, I'm going to have a top 10 favorite movies of the year so far, but we talked about it briefly on the show. It's between Top Gun Maverick, Batman, Northman. Least favorite, it's Blacklight, but it's all on my Letterboxd. You can go check out my list right now. So yeah. What about you, Zach?
Go follow me on Letterboxd.
All right, what's next?
I'll take that plug. Next one, Lydia Aaron. What are your thoughts on the look and a little bit of plot for an upcoming new Pixar movie called Elemental that will come out next year? Excited. Pixar's my favorite movie studio, so I got nothing else. it seems like another spiritual sequel to Inside Out and Soul, and it seems to be the next kind of thing in there. So I'm excited. I love Pixar so much. They always make me cry, and cool. You know,
They're
bring on
they're
Lightyear.
gonna give us the feels for elements now. They made us feel for emotions, for souls, now for the elements.
Yep. It's gonna be their version of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Exactly. Lady Aaron, since you guys finally watched Top Gun Maverick, what are your thoughts on the Lady Gaga song "Hold My Hand"? Good song. I'm surprised by that. Like, it's a proper power ballad straight out of the 80s. It's no Danger Zone. It's not an all-time great, but for someone who doesn't like Lady Gaga, the style of music she does, I like that song. Like, when it
where
hits
it was
the chorus,
placed at was perfect.
Yes. I will say it starts off very rough. As soon as the song starts, I'm like, hey, what the fuck are we? Because it starts with that kind of like DJ going back and forth. She's kind of having a stuttering, you know. But then when it properly gets started, proper good song. What do you think, Zach?
I agree. I really liked it and where it went into at the by the end of the film, because it is at the end, so don't expect it to be in the middle. Or it's perfect. It's a perfect.
It starts on the. I will say it starts on the final scene and plays into the credits.
Yep, I agree. Yep.
What's next?
Nathan Holton, are you excited for Fast X, and do you think Brie Larson will have a big part? Am I excited?
Yes.
I'm intrigued. And Brie Larson, yes, I'd be shocked if she didn't. Like, and she's probably playing Paul Walker's sister.
100%.
Like, I'm just saying this right now, guys. Like, and this fucking person tweeted at me. But Zach, he's an only child. Yeah, and guess what? Dom only had fucking his sister to the last movie. And they've jumped through buildings, and they've done a bunch of other shit. So,
is he an only child? I don't remember ever any of the movies.
It doesn't. Even if he is, does it even matter? Does it even matter?
No, it doesn't. I'm not arguing that. I'm just
because like,
is he?
Like at this point, if they get superpowers in the next, you know what this fucking franchise is? Have you ever played Saints Row, Ren? Have you ever played Saints Row? Okay,
I did not.
This is literally Saints Row is exactly what happened with Fast and Furious. So first two Saints Row games, they're straight up gang member games, robbing banks, stuff like this, right? The third game, they had like zombies and shit. Cool, whatever. The fourth game, you become the president of the United States. Then you get super fucking powers. Okay. Then they had a game where you go to hell to save one of your friends who died, and you have angel powers. It's gonna happen. I mean, if you
family,
since they didn't let Vin Diesel be Black Bolt. Telling you right now, won't be surprised when he falls into a bunch of waste in the beginning, comes out and he looks just like him, and he can't talk anymore, and that's why he can't remember his lines. So they just did this.
He can talk, but if he does, shit happens.
And I hope they pull back. I hope they pull back.
I'm actually surprised at this point they haven't actually called one of their movies Fast Family. Because that would be a fucking incredible title for the last one.
I thought this would be the last, but
I mean, they're doing like part 1 and 2, you know.
Oh, they are doing that?
Yeah.
I thought
it's that. It's 10 and 11, but they're doing it as part 1.
Fast X part 1. Yeah. Fast X part 2.
Fast X and Y. All right.
It comes out next year, right?
As far as I know, yes. Unless they lose another director.
They got a pretty good. I will give credit. I mean, this one's not going to do much besides, but I like him as a director. He's a pretty good director.
All right. Before I'm possibly going to skip over this question because we have no answer. But are you paying attention to what's coming out of Cannes?
I only a couple of things.
Okay. Do you have like any particular movies that you are excited?
I have one that G. Colby just mentioned. My next question was one actually from the George Miller one, the 3,000 Years of Longing.
3,000 Years of Longing, yeah.
I'm very
just
excited
came out for that.
Yeah. So I've actually heard how good this movie was for a very long time. One of my friends saw a test screening of it a while ago and just raved about it. So I love George Miller. Bring it on. Looks like a fucked up Aladdin, which I'm like all for.
I just watched the trailer this morning.
Oh, really? What do you think?
Yeah. It looks like two movies, like the trailer's trying to sell me two movies. One of them, I thought it was very bland. Another one looks very exciting. What seems to be like the flashbacks of the genie.
Yeah.
That looks incredible.
I can
very
get what
George
you mean.
Miller-esque.
Yeah.
The present day stuff, I'm like, okay.
The only other thing I did see coming out of Cannes was Armageddon Time, just because I've been looking forward to that. It's James Gray's new film, the guy who made Ad Astra. Not the best stuff. I mean, it was very mixed.
No, yeah.
Some people either said it was the best film of the festival so far.
Others said it was
the worst film.
I stumbled upon a tweet that had like screen grabs, and one said, "This is the first great film of the festival," and then another person, "This is the first big disappointment of the festival."
Yeah, but I'm curious. I'm following. I can't remember the person's name, but I'm hoping they put up their review because I don't know what to expect from this. I don't like the synopsis. I really don't even dig the concept for Armageddon Time. Okay. But Lost City of Z was fucking incredible, and that could have easily become boring.
Was great.
Ad Astra was great. So, and then he did a movie with Joaquin Phoenix that I've still never seen. It was like one of his first movies. Maybe you've seen it. Let me look it up. I have it.
I don't know. American film director. Here we go.
Oh, James Gray.
James Gray.
Once
what have you done?
We Own the Night.
We Own the Night? That's a good movie. That's a good movie. Yeah, it's Joaquin Phoenix, Mark Wahlberg, Eva Mendes is there. Yeah, it's a good movie. I like it. It's not great, but I like it. So yeah, all right. Next, it's your turn. Not mine.
Okay. What trailers do you think we will see this year for 2023 movies? Oh, good question. That's actually really good. Ant-Man for sure. We'll get it by the end of the year.
I think so. Okay.
Yeah, it's February. If it's coming out in February,
we'll probably get our first teaser for Elemental.
Yeah, Elemental. I wouldn't even be surprised if we see the first teaser during Lightyear. They typically do that. They'll typically do like a 60-second thing. We still haven't seen Secret World though. That Disney movie.
Strange World.
Strange
But
World.
That's this year. But that's this year. So that will probably come out with Lightyear.
That's coming Lightyear.
That would probably come out with Lightyear.
Indiana Jones, we're definitely getting by the end of this year. We'll get it in December. We'll get it in December.
I wouldn't be. Well, that's 2022, so it doesn't count. Maybe a proper Aquaman 2 movie. Trailer, sorry, not movie. We'll definitely get a movie next year.
That's March, so we'll probably get that with Shazam or Black Adam. Another one.
I will argue Shazam.
Kraven the Hunter, we're definitely gonna get because that's January. Yeah, Scream, probably we'll get our first tease with Halloween. What the fuck? I'm blanking.
What was I just thinking about?
There's a big one. Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible. I wouldn't be shocked if we
get definitely getting that. We're probably getting that next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I just thinking about? Oh, you know what? This is a long shot, but I don't think it's impossible. I would actually give it like a 20% chance happening because we waited for so long, because they're already making it. Once Avatar: The Way of Water comes out, we'll get our first teaser for number 3.
I was thinking that too, but that's not till 2024 unless they move it forward. No, because remember, next year is supposed to be Rogue Squadron, but now that's indefinitely delayed, so there's nothing on there. So do you think they'll push it forward from 2024?
Could be.
Yeah, or maybe that's where they announce it.
Because, like, if we got the trailer that we just got for Way of Water, if we got that, like, 2 years in advance, that wouldn't be giving away too much. That wouldn't be, like, properly starting a marketing campaign.
Yeah.
We could get something like that for number 3. Lady Aaron is asking about Babylon. Babylon is a 2022 movie. It's coming out in release
but it comes wide 2023.
It goes wide in 2023, but properly it is a 2022 movie.
Okay, I actually pulled up a bunch of 2023 movies. Do you want to just run through them real fast?
Real fast, because we got to get going with more
Oppenheimer, yes or no?
July? Maybe in December.
The Barbie movie.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Okay. The Little Mermaid, absolutely. We are getting our first trailer this year. A Quiet Place Day 1, the spinoff that comes out early. No?
No.
The Mario film. Yes, we'll finally get a look at that.
When is it coming?
That's now April next year. We'll get it by the end.
Yeah. Maybe with Minions.
Oh, probably. Yeah, probably. There is a Wile E. Coyote filming right now.
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
Same. I wouldn't be shocked if we get that. Transformers: Rise of the Beast. Yes, I think.
Yeah, I can see honestly, that with Shazam or something.
Honestly, if they want to start generating hype, because that's Paramount, wouldn't be shocked if they drop a teaser this week. Not saying it will.
With Maverick?
Yeah, wouldn't be shocked if they did. It's their film.
I like the way. I don't think so. I will disagree on that, but I like the way you think. Okay. I hope you're right.
And last but not least, John Wick Chapter 4 is absolutely getting a trailer by the end of this year.
It's April or May next year. Or
it's May. So.
If it's either like late in the year, like December or January, but I think there's a good shot we get it this year. Yeah. All right.
Okay, yeah, let's go. I was going to ask you, when do you think we're getting the Scorsese trailer? I know that's this year, but
I don't know, around August or September. That's around the time. Yeah. Lady Aaron, this week we lost legendary movie composer Vangelis. What are some of your favorite scores that he has done? Cliche, but obviously Chariots of Fire and Blade Runner. I actually just rewatched Chariots of Fire the day he passed. Blade Runner is an all-time great score, so it's cliched, but those are the ones for me. Zach?
Same exact ones. I know they're cliche, but yeah.
All right. Your turn.
Lady Aaron, what was the most annoying part of any video game that you've ever played and why?
Any fight late into the story in any Mortal Kombat movie. I smashed some remotes.
Yeah, it's bullshit. For me, it's when I play an online game and it's a bunch of little kids who should not be playing the game and no one's listening, especially when it's teamwork. Most recently, the Evil Dead game, I nearly wanted to smash my fucking controller into the ground because these people, my first game playing online, these kids were not like it was my first game and I understood what the fuck I was doing. These kids were just like not, because you have to stick together as a pack. If you leave, you can get possessed and then you're fucked. And these kids would just run around, drive cars, and not do anything. So it was just frustrating.
GeekOEP, nope. Also GeekOEP, but I was skipping a question. Do you guys think people are being too hard on John Krasinski's cameo in Multiverse of Madness? Yes. It's like a 5-minute cameo, was likely shot in front of a green screen, so it's not to fully say he was bad or he shouldn't play Mr. Fantastic again. Yeah, they're being too harsh. Like, it's a small moment that was there to tip off fans, wink at the audience, and give us a great moment of Wanda making him into spaghetti noodles, which, by the way, we're 2 weeks removed, so feel free to talk Doctor Strange spoilers, which I just realized we just did by outright saying John Krasinski has a cameo as Mr. Fantastic in Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. Yes, people are being too harsh. And credit where credit's due. To be fair, I also think people are being way too excited about it as well in some parts. It's a really cool cameo. It's a really cool scene. That's it. Like, he hasn't given the performance of the year or anything in those 5 minutes. Zach?
Yeah, same thoughts.
All right. What comes next?
All right. So next question: actors you want to see do a movie together, depending on the genre. I got 2. This is from G. Colby. Ryan Reynolds and Margot Robbie in either an action comedy or drama, and Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone in a comedy.
I like that second miss a lot. I want to see Emma Stone and Margot Robbie together.
Yeah, that'd be great. Maybe Babylon cameo. Maybe she shows up in there.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be good.
So, that'd be good.
I want to see Ryan Gosling and Ryan Reynolds together in a movie.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Because Ryan Gosling is one of the all-time great dramatic actors, but when he does comedy, man, the motherfucker can do comedy. God damn.
The Nice Guys, man. And that's what Chip and Dale is. Chip and Dale's the kids version of the Nice Guys, pretty much.
Yeah, kind of. You're not wrong there. All right. Have there ever been a time where you've liked the sequel but didn't like the original? Something tells me I'm going to like Top Gun Maverick, even though I didn't care for the original too much. I'm going to cheat a little bit because we're a little bit of a rush, so feel free to call me out on this again next week. But I think there has, but I don't remember what. But I'm pretty sure there has been something. Something tells me there has been an occasion where I liked a sequel, even though I didn't like the original. Zach, what about you?
I was kind of looking up some right now. Just pick another question. I don't.
All right. Do you guys think critics/reviewers have a problem blaming actors for giving a bad performance or having a personal bias against the actor? Not in general. I don't find that that's a general thing.
Oh,
but
yes. Sorry, I got a sequel. The Suicide Squad.
God damn it, you're right. Good shot.
I was scrolling through sequels that are way better than the original. And I saw Margot Robbie. I'm like, the Suicide Squad.
That's true. There we go. That's true. Good shot. I don't think that's a general thing, Chico. If you personally, like from what I encounter, I don't think that's a thing. But there are certainly cases of that. Like I've stumbled upon cases where that is true. I just don't find that it's a general thing. What about you, Zach?
I don't even remember the question. I was too dedicated.
Do you think critics or reviewers have a problem blaming the actors for giving bad performances or having personal biases against an actor or an actress?
It depends on the person. I think it really depends on the critic themselves and all that.
So. All right. What's next?
All right. Up next, we got...
I have one.
Oh,
unpopular opinion, but The Road Warrior. The first Mad Max is not a good movie.
Oh, I agree. 1 and 3 fucking suck. 1 and 3 suck, I think, for Mad Max.
I've never seen 3, but
I don't like 3.
The second one is dope.
But 2 and 4
the first one is very boring.
It is very boring. It is fucking awful. It is awful. So.
All right, what's next?
Okay. I want to real fast. Okay, so Lady Aaron and both G. Colby ask about She-Hulk CGI, so I'm gonna take G. Colby's because his is a little bit longer, but so he's asking, since you guys are talking about She-Hulk, do you guys think CGI makes or break a movie or show for you? For me, even though the CGI on She-Hulk does look spotty, hopefully it gets fixed. I'm still excited for the show, and I think it looks like a ton of fun. Just as long as the script and the characters are well done, it's not gonna bother me. Plus, I've seen plenty of movies where the CGI is great, yet the movie itself is ass.
So I'll start this off. I live with a VFX artist, just full disclosure. So he kind of doesn't like when I say this, but to me, it is, of all the gripes I can have with a movie or a series, the CGI is very low on the pecking order. I can look past bad CGI. Obviously, depending on how bad it is, there's a scale of that, obviously.
And how much bad CGI there is.
And how much, but it is very much the thing that I can look past. Like, the first episode of Moon Knight, when they're on the trucks chase, CGI on the background looks not the best. I don't think it's as horrible as people made it out to be, but it's not the best. I could very much look past it because I was invested in the story, in the characters, in the themes, and all that. Yeah. The difference here is She-Hulk is the lead character. She-Hulk is the CG on She-Hulk is going to be 95% of the time in the foreground throughout the series. So that's going to be very distracting. It's not so much that, this is bad CGI, I can't look past it, that this bad CGI character is constantly on screen and I'm trying to follow her story.
This was our first introduction and most people's first introduction to She-Hulk ever. So that's the issue. So, because you want a big splash, you don't have to show the best action scene, but when you look at visual effects, that's something there that you have to look into. For me, talking about Moon Knight again, the final episode, when he has his last transformation in the Moon Knight, the CGI was terrible there. It did not look good. It was very mushy. Like, it seemed very fake. And, for me, like, that was one scene. Didn't bother me, but I was like, that was not good CGI. Even Mandalorian, which I think has pretty fucking perfect CGI. When Baby Yoda is doing some flips in the Boba Fett episode, some of it seemed a little bit off to me.
How dare you
jump?
Sir.
It was fucking great, but again, sometimes we're spoiled with really good CGI. Look at the Suicide Squad. King Shark, fully believe that is a real shark.
Yeah.
Starro, fully believe that is a real starfish that's as big as a building. So it really just depends.
All right. So Chico EP, you're asking us to give a pitch for Deadpool 3. It is a great question. I'm reading your description, and it's amazing. I'm going to save your comment just to read off next week, but it is a question that for us to properly answer, it would take a bulk of the time of the show, so it wouldn't be fair for others, but it's a great question.
Can I give mine since I won't be here next week?
Real fast, please.
Okay. So, real fast, my pitch would pretty much be a direct sequel to the second Deadpool movie. Everyone's coming back, but what ends up happening is Deadpool breaks open the multiverse with his little fucking time jumping thing he was fucking doing, and they all get pulled into the MCU, and it's pretty much a variant. It's a version of Deadpool kills the MCU, or well, the Marvel universe, something like that. So,
again, it would just take a bulk of the time, and we want to get to as many questions as possible, and we still got a few more, but thank you nevertheless. I saved your question on a Word document, so call me out next week to read it out loud for everyone to know. Eric Thorpe reviews, whether it's better or worse than Multiverse of Madness, do you think The Flash, for better or worse, will be heavier on the multiverse elements, like cameos from other DC movie universes we know, or have less? I am of two minds on this, because on one hand, I have no idea how they're going to do Flashpoint, even though I know a lot of this. With the bulk of information I know, I'm leaning towards no. But also because in the comics, Flashpoint is not so much a multiverse story. I mean, it is and it isn't. The Flash changes something in the past, not to spoil people who might not know the story of Flashpoint. It's a great story. Go read it. Go even watch the animated movie, which is great. The Flash changes something in the past, and so he creates an entire new timeline. So he doesn't properly run across multiverses. He just creates an entire universe for himself, and that's where the film happens, that one universe. So
I guess it's the best way to explain it's kind of everything everywhere at once. Imagine what she does in that film, how it's like it's a different alternate life path for a bunch of different things.
But even that, you see a lot of different versions of herself. This is just the Flash that you know. He's suddenly in this different reality. And this different reality has a different version of Aquaman, a different version of Wonder Woman, a different version of Batman, a different version of Superman in the comics. That's going to be a Supergirl in the movie. But it's all just this one different version of this character. This one different version of this character. Obviously, in the comic, we don't have two Batman. In here, we're going to have two Batman, even though one of them is going to be in the film for very little time. But other than that, it's not really so it's tough to say, but I'm leaning towards no. I would say no. Zach, what about you?
I'm going to say no as well.
All right. So, what's next?
All right. Our Nathan Holton asks, are you excited for Salem's Lot and Argyle?
Argyle, yes. Salem's Lot, no, because I haven't seen anything from it. I constantly forget there's a Salem's Lot coming this year.
I could give one shit about Salem's Lot, because the director who directed that, the last movie he made, I hated. Argyle, I think it was Annabelle Comes Home. I didn't like that movie. Argyle, yes. Even though they make Henry Cavill look like an idiot with that stupid hairstyle.
They gave him the Colossus hair.
Exactly, but cool. Let's bring it on.
All right. Jico EP, when do you think we'll see Eternals again, and how do you think Marvel can get people on board with these characters and improve on some of the things people didn't like about the first, while keeping Chloe Zhao attached? I mean, there's no easy answer to say how can they get people on board. People need to get on board because the writing in Eternals was great, and that's it. Now, I don't know. Just make them more human, give them a compelling story, continue to try your best. When do I think we'll see them again? It wasn't until someone brought up Eros in Love and Thunder, but because a ton of that movie is set in space, post-credit scene, maybe we don't see Eros at all, but maybe we see Arishan.
And maybe that's where Thor comes in. Maybe that's where Thor's story continues.
Maybe Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a hidden actor with a hidden character. Maybe that's Eros. I don't know, but those are the two big possibilities right now. It's either Love and Thunder or Guardians of the Galaxy, which, Zach, you and I were just discussing how much we love Eternals. I hope it's Love and Thunder because I missed them already.
Same. If not, we're going to get a sequel. I mean, yes. In some way, shape, and form, there will be a sequel. Whether they frame it and not call it Eternals 2. Kevin Feige's not one to just... Yeah. Or, I don't know, maybe the Nova film. has them in it. I don't
Which
fucking
I will
know.
star in. I'm breaking the news right
I
now.
know.
I will star in the Nova
You're
movie.
breaking the NDA. You are manifesting that thing into the world.
I am manifesting that shit, man. I am manifesting.
I'm telling you, I wouldn't be shocked if he does like go with an unknown. So
yes, but it's not gonna be me. Hey. But I want it to be me. I'm doing my best to have it be me.
Just tweet it out. Just tweet it. That's what Timu did. And look at that. Yeah.
But he was already a working actor. What's next, Zach?
Next is G. Colby. Have you ever showed your family members or friends a movie you love, but they ended up not liking it? If so, what was the movie?
Yes. La La Land.
La La Land. Who didn't like it?
My sister, my dad. My dad thought it was okay. My mom really liked it, but nowhere close as me, which breaks my heart. They can't see the light. I'm sad I don't have an enlightened family.
The new Suicide Squad, my family just like wasn't like they like the original one more, which kills my heart every time. What the fuck was it? Babadook, family hates it. My girlfriend hates Hereditary, so that's cool. Yes. I'll never be able to watch that again.
You're wrong on that one. Credit to your sisters.
I don't give a fuck. I love that movie. Fuck, what? There's one that I'm like thinking of that was very recent, but I don't remember. Those ones are off the top of my head.
All right.
Wait. I have one more. Inside Out and Soul. My girlfriend does not like those movies. My family didn't like those movies. Yep, they fucking hate it. They didn't like WALL-E either. Yeah.
It's one of the greatest sci-fi movies of all time. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Probably the shock.
I haven't shown him the Batman yet. I don't want him to. I don't want to know.
Oh god! Dude, what about the Northman? That one.
My dad will like that. My dad will like the Northman. My dad will like the Northman.
That one is not for everyone, but still it's gonna hurt.
It's official. Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson, Taika Waititi have officially announced that the Thor: Love and Thunder trailer will be released on Monday.
All right.
During the basketball game, so you'll be sleeping.
I'm gonna have to watch that trailer, aren't I? Because I want to see how Gore the God Butcher looks.
We know it's gonna be Gore. So
it's gonna be Gore, man. It's gonna be Gore, and I have it on good authority that he looks great. I'm saying that as the person who's been you guys know how invested I am in Thor: Love and Thunder because of the Gore the God Butcher story. I got this man to my left to read it. He loves it as well. I want to be baptized in the blood of the gods. I want to see this dude in live action look great. I have it on good authority. It does look great. No matter how shitty the figure looks, no matter how afraid I've been, I have it on good authority. He looks great. I haven't seen it myself, but I've been told for someone I trust that we're in good hands. Moving on, Jiggly. What do you think of the whole discussion about MCU third battles as they're more 50-50 towards the audiences? While some like the Captain America movies, Doctor Strange, even Infinity War, Endgame, and No Way Home, despite these containing some criticisms people have with these final battles, are praised, yet some like Black Panther, Black Widow, WandaVision, Shang-Chi, for example, get criticized for being too ugly looking, rushed, rely too much on spectacle, taking away from the character's journey, or just being lame. To be fair, you can say that for a lot of blockbusters recently. Wonder Woman suffered from this problem too. I bring this up because people talk about how when the MCU tries to deviate from that formula with the show's movies, they say the worst part of those movies were when they revert back to it. To me, what I say against that argument is that the spectacle doesn't take away from the character's journey. The spectacle is part of that. The movies, for all their many faults, some of them, Endgame and Infinity War and Doctor Strange don't have a lot of faults, but Black Panther, Black Widow, WandaVision, Shang-Chi, I completely disagree that Shang-Chi looks ugly. I think that's one of the most beautiful looking MCU movies. The final battle, I will say, I would love if the clouds were not obscuring the sun, but other than that, how it properly looks, like it's more of a lighting situation rather than how it looks in general. But I think that looks great. I don't think spectacle and character journeys are two different things in the same movie. They're one and the same. They build up to it. I want a big final battle. in my superhero movies or in my movies in general. Obviously, if we're watching the trial of the Chicago 7, it would make sense if they start fighting each other. Though it would be really cool. That's my argument against people who say that like one doesn't take away from the other because they're one and the same. And if you take the battles away, like those films would build to nothing. They would be building, and then suddenly they don't do anything with what they've been building throughout. So that's my argument against it. What about you, Zach?
You keep stealing the words right out of my mouth. I don't really have anything to add. And I was also going to let you know, I do not have any more questions. I'm out.
All right. Let's run through this last stretch. Nathan Holton. By the way, I'm seeing a question from Camilo asking about the She-Hulk trailer. What do we expect? That was our main topic today. So just catch it on the replay. We just talked about all the details on that. What do you think? What we're expecting? All of that. So that was our main topic. Tubbs, what do you think the Disney Plus version of Daredevil will be like? And personally, what would you and Zach like to see happen in the series?
Kind of already mentioned
right
this.
Right now I'm not sure what it will be like, but I will adapt. I would like to see the Charles Soule run adapted. I would like to see Shadowland, man. I know that's a story nobody likes. But I really like Shadowland. Essentially, without spoiling too much, because I want you guys to read it. That's my recommendation. Basically, Daredevil goes a little bit dark, and he kind of becomes the kingpin of Hell's Kitchen. Not like wearing suits, becoming the proper kingpin, but like Daredevil, not Matt Murdock. Daredevil becomes the kingpin. So if somebody steps out of line, they get punched in the mouth and swallow some teeth. So I want to see that story. Do you have anything more to add to what you said previously, Zach?
No, I'm not too invested in the comics for him, so can't give like too much things for that. But
Nathan Holton, why do you think so many films come out later in the UK or don't at all? For example, Man comes out 2 weeks later, where The Crawdads Sing is August 26th. Whereas films like Watcher, Bodies, etc. have no UK release. I don't know what Watcher is, but Bodies, Men.
Bodies is the new indie film.
I know. I'm saying I don't know what Watcher is. Bodies,
Watcher
and Men. By the way, Eric Thorpe says he has a question on yours yet, so maybe refresh the page. Those are A24 movies. I can tell you, as someone who works with several studios, A24 does not have an office here yet. So they always work through an outside PR. Regarding films coming out later in the UK, obviously we're going to care about the UK releases because we're here in the UK, but it's not a UK thing. Around the world, films have several different release dates. I don't agree with it. I think every movie, at least as best as studios can, should try to have a global release, and that's it. No matter what else is coming out. Some of the things that get in the way of A24 doing that is having no office here in the UK for PR. Where The Crawdads Sing, I don't know where the decision came from. And now they just delayed Nope. Which is strange. So I don't know of a reason, but it's all marketing strategy. The movie studios schedule their movies to release on when they think they will make the most bank. So it's all marketing strategy, how they see fit. I personally don't see it the way they do. You clearly don't either, Nathan, but that's the way they see it. Zach, do you have a question?
Yes. So Eric Thorpe asks, are you guys excited for season 4 of Westworld, and will this season give us another Robo version of a character from Game of Thrones like season 3 did with the dragon?
Yes, I am. I'm very excited. I cannot wait for the show to come back. It's one of the shows that takes so long between seasons that I kind of forget it exists. And then when it comes back, like, I didn't even need to watch the trailer. As soon as I saw there's a Westworld season 4 trailer, my excitement shot right up. Yeah. What about you, Zach?
I'm just happy it got renewed.
Yes.
So I don't know if they will. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. But either or, I'm very excited to see this. Even though I didn't love the last season, like I loved a lot of aspects of it. I'm really excited to see what they do with this season.
All right. I will say my biggest question, coming off of what Zach just said, my biggest question regarding last season, it didn't feel like they were building to anything, like it was converging too well. All right, Nathan Holton, are you looking forward to Mickey 7? Okay, I was reading Mickey and I'm like, what the hell is Mickey? Mickey 7. Yes,
Mickey
very
Mouse.
excited. They just added more people to the cast: Naomi Ackie, Toni Collette, Mark Ruffalo, and someone else. I don't remember who. So yeah, Bong Joon-ho, give me everything you want. Zach?
Yeah, give me the movie now. It's one of my most anticipated for a while.
Is it next year or is it 2024?
If it's next year, it's gonna be late.
All right.
Late.
Nathan Holton, do you think the live-action Snow White will be released in 2023? At CinemaCon, they showed their upcoming 2023 movies, and that wasn't shown, but it started filming. So unless you know something I don't, Nathan, what they showed at CinemaCon wasn't so much their 2023 slate, but they showed everything from 1 year after CinemaCon. So everything from April 2022 to April 2023. So if they showed anything from Snow White, it's probably coming out in April 2023 or before. But because they didn't show it, it's probably coming out after that. That's why they didn't show it, because it's over a year later. They just wanted to show everything in the next 365 days, not to reference the movie. Zach?
We'll probably see something at D23. That's like really
good shout. I missed a GKOP question. Why did I drive Margot Robbie off Letterboxd? I did not know she had a Letterboxd. Like, anytime I go to Letterboxd, it's to log my shit in and I get out. Like, I barely like people's stuff on Letterboxd. Not out of malice. It's just that I go into Letterboxd to put my shit in, to write a review of something I don't want to make a video for, and that's it. Believe me, if I knew she had a Letterboxd, I would have kept that secret all to myself. So yeah. Neeson Scott, do you think the Daredevil Disney Plus series might just be a watered-down version miniseries? No, I don't. I think it's going to be a miniseries that belongs in MCU. If you want to compare it to the Netflix show, it's not going to be that. Will it be a watered-down version? Will it be better? I don't know, but I think it's going to be different. So I think everyone should get accustomed to that. All right, final 3 questions. What do you think? Neeson Scott also asks, what do you think of Gotham Knights officially revealed? Looks like shit. And look, I'm someone who still watches The Flash. I'm someone who still wants to finish Legends of Tomorrow. I hate how this looks. Like, I love that they cast Misha Collins, Castiel from Supernatural, as Two-Face. The lineup that they have for these supposed Gotham Knights looks awful. It looks like a wannabe.
Who is it? I don't even know the fuck it is.
So they have Duella Dent.
No idea.
Who in the comics is the Joker's daughter. She calls herself the Joker's daughter. The Joker didn't have a daughter with anyone. Then the 2 main guys are made up for the show. One of them is Bruce's adopted son, but it's not Dick, it's not Jason, it's not Damian, it's not Tim Drake. Tim Drake? Yes. So I don't know. They're making shit up. I'll watch the first episode out of morbid curiosity, but I don't think I'm watching anything after that, as we stand right now, at least. Final 2 questions. Sony Movie Chappie, what is a comfort movie that you like to watch when you're feeling depressed and sad? So La La Land is one. Avengers is one. Avengers Endgame is
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse is a good shout. Casablanca for me.
Toy Story.
The Lion King, the Toy Story trilogy, Treasure Planet, The Princess Bride, man. Just
Star Wars.
Puts a smile. I mean, yeah, the original trilogy for sure. Those are a few.
Graveyard of Fireflies. That's a Grave of Fireflies.
No,
that's pretty good.
Do not watch that if you're feeling down, man. Do not believe what Zach's saying. Final question, Lady Aaron. Since the summer season is coming up very soon, what is your ideal summer vacation? What is your ideal place to go for a summer vacation? Ideal place, it's wherever I can be with my friends. As long as you're with friends, doesn't really matter where you go, right? Ideal summer vacation, I just go away to a fun place with your friends, a place where it's not home, not a place where you spend a lot of time in. Just gather your closest friends, go on a trip with them to the beach, to the forest, wherever, as long as you are with them. That's my ideal summer vacation. And I'm going back in July. Zach?
The beach. Love the beach. Love Disneyland, all that stuff. So that's my dream. Nice. That's what I'm doing in June. So
nice. Alrighty, everyone. That is it for this Week in Geek, an elongated episode. I wanted to make sure we got into all your questions because we didn't last week. So we're going to try our best to be even faster next week to come to the 95 minutes runtime. Zach, what do you got coming up this week, and where can people find you?
So this week, I have a top 10 reasons why Top Gun Maverick is better than the original coming out later this week. Ooh. Bob's Burgers, Obi-Wan Kenobi on Friday, and then I will be doing a lot of vlogs at Star Wars Celebration throughout the week. I don't know if I'll be posting them as I'm out there, if I'll just do one giant one. But I'll be hanging with Sean Chandler, Griffin, Sharonda, nice. Tessa from Mama Geekies. I'll see there too. So
you're gonna meet Tessa.
Yeah, I literally have no plans for what I'm doing, just because I have a lot of things behind the scenes that I'm a little annoyed about right now. But I'm excited on that. And then Stranger Things review. I don't know when I will review that. I don't even know if I will, but I'm excited to watch it. That's kind of where I'll just get to that. So
all right.
But yeah, lots of fun.
I am going to be reviewing the Lost World Jurassic Park 3 as well. Friday, we got Obi-Wan Kenobi, ladies and gentlemen, and that's probably going to be our main topic next week. I don't know if I'm going to review the first 2 episodes separately or if I'm just going to give you a video on the 2-episode premiere. But we're for sure going to talk Obi-Wan Kenobi. I hope to see you there. And maybe other stuff that I'm working on.
I know someone asked who is going to replace me for next week. Who do you want?
I haven't talked to anyone yet because I forgot you were not coming. But maybe Leo, maybe Patrick. Those are the 2
maybe all of them
that I know. Maybe all of them. Maybe. But yeah, the first Jurassic Park review is already up on the channel. Go support that one, please. I hope to talk to you guys there. Thank you again to Eric Thorpe for the really kind comment on that one. And once more, shout out to channel members, MSP, Film Bruin, and Nate Ankenbauer. And I hope next week we catch Nate Ankenbauer here because I want to plan the member exclusive live Q&A. So it's available when he's around on his computer, when he wants to hang out. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the channel, for all your great questions. And until next week, get ready for Obi-Wan and love each other and love the movies.